Dear Professor, now I would like to report my thesis proposal to you. The title of my thesis is The Application of Electromechanic Learning Factories in Vocational Education Schools in China. I will report the following 10 aspects, mainly introducing the research background, literature review, research questions, objects, methods, and my research plan of my thesis. With the continuous application and popularization of high-end new technology in our daily life, many posts have realized artificial intelligence and some traditional posts are gradually being replaced, which further aggravate the difficult situation of employment. In the face of the employment pressure and the difficult situation, we need to fundamentally improve the vocational skills and employment ability of the occupation personnel, so as to continuously increase their competitiveness in the market, at the same time to solve our employment difficulties. Employment imbalance situation to a certain extent. The most fundamental way to cultivate the skills of professional personnel is to vigorously promote vocational education and achieve the cultivation of high-level skilled personnel under the reasonable training of vocational schools. At the same time, developing vocational education and matching the development direction of vocational education with the transformation of economic structure can lay a good foundation for the training of high-skilled talents and make full preparation for the training of higher-skilled talents. Therefore, vocational education plays a pivotal role in China's current development process and is an important basis for China to participate in international competition. The ultimate and optimal result of vocational education is to enable graduates to quickly adapt to the working environment of enterprise and enable them to apply their major to enterprise positions, so as to achieve high-quality employment. At the same time, they should also have the sustainable development of personal ability. Based on this, the process of vocational education should be close to the production process of enterprise posts. The content of training should be the work content of enterprise posts, and the training and the cultivation of the students' comprehensive vocational ability should be taken into account. This study will take mechatronic integration occupation, which is in the greatest demand in the current development of Chinese industry, as the research theme. Through learning the foreign learning factory mode and the mode of Chinese localization transformation, under the Chinese vocational education management mode, the formation of the mechatronic integration learning factory mode with Chinese characteristics. The term learning factory is not entirely new. Learning factory was first proposed in 1994 with the initial purpose of strengthening the close cooperation between universities and industrial enterprises. and providing universities with interdisciplinary and practical teaching content to train engineers. In 2007, the first learning factory in Germany was established in Darmstadt in collaboration with the company at the Institute of Production Management, Technology and Machine Tool at the Technical University of Darmstadt. In 2014, Dongguan Technician College, where I work, established cooperation with German Cross-Enterprise Training Center and introduced the concept of Learning Factory. However, Learning Factory, an advanced school enterprise cooperation model of vocational education in China, has not been able to form a complete set of implementation blueprints, leading to continuous attempts and implementation in a small scope without the implementation standards of Learning Factory. Therefore, through this research, I want to establish a complete model of mechanical and electronical learning factory as the research direction. Through research and specific data analysis to form a learning factory construction guidance document, to create a new model of industry education integration, organize the teaching and curriculum model of Learning Factory, and form a behavior-oriented curriculum system that integrates production teaching, science, and practice, and can be popularized and replicated. The Learning Factory mode is used to help technical college carry out curriculum system reform, improve the professional construction ability of colleges, and the teachers' teaching ability. It's helpful to cultivate a group of skilled talents with international vision, meet international standards, meet the needs of enterprises, and seamlessly connect the industry. On the aspect of Learning Factory operation mode, many scholars believe that Learning Factory should be a realistic or simplified mapping of teaching of production process in learning environment. So far, there is no structured framework to describe the Learning Factory approach, but the students' knowledge system need to be perfected by Learning Factory jointly run by schools and enterprises. In principle, Learning Factory is a collaboration between schools and enterprises. In foreign literature, the school enterprises cooperation of Learning Factory is very mature, but the situation of school enterprises cooperation in China is not ideal. So, it's urgent to establish a place like Learning Factory to integrate school and enterprises resources. The curriculum is the soul of the learning, the efficient operation of the factory. Both Chinese and foreign scholars' views on vocational education curriculum can be summarized as the acquisition of knowledge driven by action. The content of the course should also be cross-disciplinary. The action in the Learning Factory should be a labor process close to the practice of the enterprises. Scholars in Beijing University of Technology also put forward a four-dimension curriculum system, but it's only an abstract, high-end concept of the university level. Improving and strengthening students' learning motivation is the starting point and the destination of education. Only when learners have the consciousness of independent learning can they pay attention to themselves, discover themselves, explore themselves, control and evaluate themselves, and develop their subjective ability. Chinese scholars believe that students' learning motivation is mainly dominated by communication motivation, achievement motivation, and thirst for knowledge. The model of learning factory is the best choice to stimulate students' autonomous learning motivation, but so far there is no comparative study on this aspect. Teachers are the key to the smooth implementation of education process and teaching results. Teachers studying in factories should have professional technical knowledge, rich operational skills, and professional long-term vision, as well as teaching skills and knowledge, and be able to complete teaching tasks. Through the interpretation of the literature, it can be found that the real development history of learning factory is not long. In foreign countries, learning factory is more to cultivate the comprehensive ability of some people in a high-end field, and has made great achievements. In China, the document searchable learning factory mode is mainly applied in the learning factory of Dongguan Technician College. Although various advantages of learning factory are mentioned in many literatures, the biggest problem in the operation of learning factory is the lack of complete guidance document to plan and guide the operation process, curriculum model, and standards of learning factory. It can be seen that the result of this research should be positioned in how to operate the learning factory mode in the process of vocational education. Form a systematic construction standard and curriculum system, and train students' cognitive ability and operational ability in each link of the production process. There are significant differences between China and foreign countries in terms of ideological and cultural tradition, realistic cultural environment, and social ideology in vocational education. If there is no substantial understanding of the concept of learning factory abroad, there is no real creative reference and transformation of vocational education ideas from abroad. From the literature, we can see various descriptions of the concept of learning factory. But in order to successfully implement the vocational education model of learning factory under the Chinese system, we must design a curriculum system and form the standards of talent training. The entry criteria for teachers in China are different from those in other countries. But China has been promoting professional teachers with both theoretical and practical abilities. However, a complete training system is needed for teachers in learning factories. Through this study, the operation mode and the characteristic of foreign learning factory are deeply analyzed. The shortcomings of Chinese learning factories are analyzed, and the systematic teaching reform is carried out, centering on the integration of production and education. The behavior-oriented curriculum system based on learning factory is established according to the principle of system theory to replace the traditional subject curriculum system. The characteristic of this system is that by taking ability as the standard, cultivate students' comprehensive vocational ability training as the core based on learning factory, supported by industry-integrated behavior-oriented courses. Real enterprise products as the carrier, guided by actual enterprise workflow, new teaching organization form. In this way, the localization of German dual system vocational education will be completed, and finally a course scheme integrating industry and education with elements of dual system will be formed, as well as a new model of technical education learning factory suitable for Chinese economic development. Therefore, I have the following research objectives. Based on the major of mechanical and electronical engineering, research out the construction framework of the operation mode of mechanical and electrical learning factory suitable for Chinese vocational colleges. Design an action-oriented curriculum system based on learning factory to replace the traditional subject curriculum system. Stimulate the inner motivation of active learning of vocational school students by learning factory teaching methods. Design and study the competence, structure, and training mode of professional teachers in the factory. This study followed the following research questions. Which mode of learning factory operation is suitable for full-time vocational education of electromechanical major in China? How should Chinese vocational colleges cooperate with enterprises in establishing learning factories? What kind of curriculum system can promote the effective operation of electromechanic learning factory in Chinese vocational schools? What kind of abilities do mechanical and electronical teachers in vocational schools need to meet the teaching needs of learning factories? How does the learning factory affect the learning motivation of vocational school students? This study adopts a mixed research design and was conducted in 2 stages. Firstly, the qualitative part of data collection and analysis was conducted. Based on the interview, the data was analyzed using review. Then the result of the qualitative research are used to develop a questionnaire tool. Finally, the questionnaire is used to collect quantitative data, and the spatial software is used for analysis. The qualitative part aims to understand the current situation and existing problems of learning factory in vocational college in China. To achieve this goal, I use semi-structured interviews to collect data from schools, enterprises, and students. Respondents asked to clearly describe their perceptions and expectations regarding the learning factory model. Quantitative research is mainly carried out from the following aspects: conduct field investigation and interview on learning factories in Chinese vocational colleges, analyze the operation mode and existing problems of learning factories, interview with relevant management personnel of enterprises to understand the needs and expectation of enterprises for graduates majoring in mechanical and electrical engineering. The relevant managers of vocational schools and teachers of mechanical and electrical majors were interviewed to understand their views on the learning factory model. Quantitative research aims to measure the feasibility of learning factory teaching model. In order to achieve this goal, questionnaire content and server scope will be designed according to the information obtained from qualitative research. The questionnaire mainly involved the following contents: conducted questionnaire survey on enterprises to understand their interest in cooperating with the school on the electromechanical learning factory model. Conduct questionnaire survey on students majoring in mechanical and electrical engineering in vocational schools to understand the influence of learning factory teaching mode on students' learning motivation. Conduct questionnaire survey on electromechanical teachers in vocational schools to understand the structure and ability of teachers. The expected results are generally in the following 3 aspects: form the construction model of the integration of production and education in learning factory, form mechatronic learning factory curriculum, training system of teachers will be established in cooperation with schools and enterprises. In 2023, I will focus on literature research and at the same time design research methods and collect quantitative research data. In 2024, I will conduct quantitative data collection and analyze. In 2025, I will sort out the research result and complete the thesis. The following are references I am currently studying. The above is my proposal report. Please comment and correct. Thank you.